ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cat Talk here on GreenCountyHeraldOnline.com. I'm Russell Turner. It's my good friend Nick Chatham, the AD here at Greene County High School. And Nick, man, this is one of the best weeks to be at Greene County High School there is. We got the huge win on Friday night for the battle for the bell.
Of the bell. Let's see how this thing sounds, Russell.
Sounds pretty good.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
and
does.
on top of that, last night the Lady Wildcats had a great victory over Summerall to go 3-0 in region play. So it's been a big week already here at Greene County High School. A lot to talk about. Tell me what's going on.
Well, you know, it's just a testament to the work the kids are putting in and the coaching staffs are putting in. You know, talking about volleyball, they kind of started out slow and started out kind of 500 playing some bigger schools, and like we always say, it's paying off come division. And same thing with the football team. You know, had a rough week one, but just kept hanging in there and kept pushing and kept preaching what they preach and came out with a big victory.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are kind of storybook. You know, as far as the battle for the egg, I don't know that you could really.
Bell.
I'm sorry, I'm stuck in that. You know, that other movie. The battle for the bell. It's just one of those things that I don't know that you could write that script any better when you take all the things that were in place. And I had several people telling me, "Oh, Turner, you're gonna have a lot to say in the newspaper." I didn't really know what to say. What do you say? Yeah. You know, I mean, you can't beat what actually happened on Friday night.
And it's a great rivalry. I mean, we love playing George County, and the truth of the matter is they're, you know, double our size at least, and we should never beat them, but we did, and it's good. And you know, always good going over there to George County. They do a good job of hosting, and it's just a good atmosphere.
A lot of friends over there, of that, you know, and they want to beat us just as badly as we want to beat them. And but it was a good game. A lot of good action on both sides. They've definitely got some very talented players, and I think they're going to get their ship moving in the right direction. But for us, I think that's what it really did. It kind of took some of the question marks out of the way, got the kids, and the kids had to be on the same page all week long. There's no way they'd pull off what they pulled off without everybody being pointed in the same direction.
I think it was kind of a coming out party for our team, to be honest with you, because week one, everybody wrote them off. We had people within our community writing them off. And that's a shame, to be honest with you, but you know, we righted the ship, and we played a good Van Cleve team. We played minus a couple starters on defense, and everybody was just, we're falling apart. We're not going to be able to do anything. And then we come out against George County and played great defensively. Our playmakers and skill guys on offense were on full display Friday night, and I think we got a lot of weapons.
I do too, and like you said, I do think it was a coming out party. I think some things finally started really coming together. We know we've got some big time playmakers, and now we know that we've got, and I don't use this word lightly. I mean it in a great, you'll understand what I mean, but the role players came out the other night, and we had people playing very well consistently across the board, and the mistakes we made we were able to overcome, where in the Jamboree and in week one, those mistakes brought us down, and to me that's just a demonstrates that this group of kids, and they are kids, are growing up on the field. So like I said, a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to have Coach Stacy Eubanks on to talk about volleyball and what's going on with that. But sitting there 3-0 at the top of the region, that's a big deal. And we're going to have some guys from the football team come on and talk about last week's game and looking forward. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Stay with us.
Here's a scenario. Work has sent you cross-country. You drive 2,000 miles, eat something that resembles food, and seal the deal with a room full of strangers. Now you have a big old check, which means you hold in your hands the future of your company. But wait, you have the Singing River Federal app, which means you and thousands of others like you can bank wherever you are. So no more worries, except for whatever you ate. Singing River Federal, the better way to bank, wherever you are.
Welcome back to Cat Talk, folks. We're joined today with, as we promised earlier, Coach Stacy Eubanks, who has got the Lady Wildcat volleyball team at 3-0 in the division. And Stacy, this is kind of unfamiliar territory for our volleyball program. So talk to us a little bit about how it feels to be #1 in the division.
Yes, sir. We're very excited about our program this year. These girls have worked really hard in practice and in games and in tournaments. We scheduled a full amount of games that we could this year, and we also scheduled games against much bigger schools, better schools this year. which has made us tougher to actually win some games, but it's made our team better when it comes to district, and that's what we were shooting for this year, and it's paid off so far.
Well, and for a program that's still new, I still
Yeah.
consider it new. I mean, what are we, 5 years in
This
now?
is our 5th year, I think,
So,
or 6th.
so these girls are still getting introduced to the game. So the fact that they get to go and watch bigger teams and girls that know what they're doing, not that ours don't, ours are doing a great job, but to see how it's supposed to look pays dividends for them as well.
It does. It's been a huge benefit for our young ladies. And of course, this year also will be the first year we've got a junior high program at all 3 of our junior highs. And of course, that's just going to benefit us in the future because up until now, we've not had that feeder program. So we're also very excited about that happening.
You know, when we talked to your captains earlier in the year, one of the things we talked about was just what you're saying, scheduling heavy on the front end so you're ready at region. And the times I've watched y'all play, every game that I've come to is just a little better. You know, and I mentioned to you a couple of weeks ago that I thought your team had turned a corner, had kind of started to click. And you mentioned earlier that you think this is the best game y'all have played yet.
It has. And that was a very big district win because Summerall won the district last year, and the only loss they had last year was actually to us in one of the 2 games we played them. So that was a huge win for us.
I want to say this, just give some kudos to the girls. You know, I don't think the average person who doesn't have a kid realizes what these girls go through. I mean, I didn't realize it till recently, but they're playing volleyball 2 or 3 nights a week, and they're cheering on Friday nights, and they're going to football games, and they're studying, and they're having to keep their grades up, and they're doing a great job of handling all that as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a topic we could have a whole discussion about that because I think you've got that same thing in band and, all the different athletics, and, it's great, and I'm proud to see it. So, now, you can't get too cocky. You got what, 8 region games to play, so you got 5 left.
Absolutely.
One of them's against Purvis, and then you got to go visit Summerall.
Yeah, we've got to go to Summerall's house, and then we've got 2 more games. We've got 2 games against Purvis, and Purvis is always really good. They swept us last year, and so we look forward to playing them. They're always very good.
Yeah, well, and they've got a well-established program, and both of those schools are on the up, so to speak. So good deal. Well, talk to us a little bit about your girls. I think we knew early on the seniors that were going to be big-time playmakers. Who are some of the ones that have stepped up that are elevating the team?
Yes, of course, Madison King is probably our best player because she also plays a travel ball, and of course that gives her the benefit of playing a good bit more than the other girls. And then we had a transfer in, Madison Todd. She's a junior. She come from Louisiana this year. And she's helped us with setting, and she's done a real good job. Then, of course, we've got our other playmakers, Britton Dunham, who's just great on the front line, great server, great passer. And then Caitlin Pierce has just done a really good job for us, doing all the things she does. She's our other setter, and she's got a great serve, great pass. All of those girls are just great team players. And then, of course, we've got Taylor Brewer and Juliana that joined us back after a little bit of a layoff, and so those seniors have helped us also.
Well, both of those last 2 that you mentioned, in the games that I've been to, they have definitely contributed, and they moved real well.
That depth, and that's what we didn't have last year. We didn't have hardly any depth, and this year we do have some depth. So it helps to be able to switch those girls in and out whenever they're getting a little tired or whatever. And we played in 3 different games this year where we had no air conditioning. And that makes it difficult on a team when you don't think that softball plays outside and all these other sports, but volleyball is an indoor sport and it's usually air conditioned. So that depth has really helped us this year in games that we needed it.
And you can see it too. I'm sorry, Russell.
No, when you're in that gym and the AC's not running, that's a different kind of hot.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You've also got some girls that you kind of recruited. I know you were talking about Erin Meadows and how she's come along over the years.
Yes, I've purposely done that, talking to some of these young ladies, and you can see the athleticism in several of these ladies, and I've recruited them, and what I mean by recruiting them is just encourage them to try out for the team and come and play, and their response is, well, I don't know anything about volleyball. And my response is, I can coach you how to play volleyball, but I can't coach your athleticism.
Right.
And so we're really excited about several of the newcomers that are on the JV team this year that will more than likely be on varsity next
Right.
year, and you can see the talent just bubbling there, and we're really excited about that because we also beat Summerall in the JV matchup also, and last year we didn't win many JV games at all, but this year we've won quite a few, so we're real excited about the future of the program also.
You've got some raw talent in that freshman class and some size too.
Yes.
And we were laughing about it at my office this week, looking through some of the pictures, and I made the comment, I would not want to be on the other side of the net from Maddie King when that ball's in the air, because my gracious, she can kill it.
She's
Britton too.
Yeah, Britton, yeah, they're just, we've just got several that have just done a fantastic job. So we're just real excited about the team as a whole.
And I want to say this, if you hadn't been out to watch a volleyball game, I've said it before, they are entertaining, they are fun, it's a good atmosphere, it's fast-paced. I mean, you need to come out and check it out if you haven't been, and come support these girls as they continue to get better and continue to try to win their division.
And not nearly the screaming at the referees that you have in some
That's
of the
right,
other sports.
that's right.
And the great thing about volleyball is most parents don't understand the rules, so they can't really holler because they don't know really what happens.
Right.
Well, I know y'all played at Pearl River in that tournament, and that's good for the girls to get to play up once again, but
Yes.
also play in that environment. What does that do for you? Because you've got what? You got St. Pat this week?
We got St. Patrick's tomorrow night here.
That's a great program. And then you've got, like I said, 5 more region games to play. So, kind of wrap it up for us, what you're looking for toward the end of the season.
Of course. And like I said, we packed our schedule this year with a lot of tougher schools, bigger schools to play, private schools that are really, good every year. And that has done nothing but sharpen us for our conference games. And that's what we did. Like St. Patrick's is a private Catholic school from the coast. And they're very good. We played them the other night there. We actually won the first 2 sets, and then we kind of run out of gas, and they came back and won that match. But we played them very evenly, and that's a very good team. And that's what we've done this year. We've really not been blown out by anybody this year. We've lost 25-23, 25-22 against these bigger schools. And like I said, that does nothing but benefit us when we play inside our district. And that's what we're hoping to do, is to be able to finish strong in our conference, and hopefully this year we'll be able to make the playoffs if the good Lord's willing, and the girls just continue to play consistently, because the talent is there, the knowledge is there. It's just being consistent is where we've got to be this year.
Right. And that comes with playing.
It does, and that's the thing about that tournament all day Saturday. We arrived at about 8:20 at Pearl River Community College, and we didn't leave till after 5. And so it was a long day, but we played some really tough games, and we actually came in second in our little pool, which put us in the finals there, and we actually lost to PSC, Presbyterian Christian, which actually eventually won the tournament. But we won one of those games, and then they won the other 2, but they were very close. And so that, again, that's one of those really good private schools that has been perpetually good for a long time, that did nothing but benefit us.
Well, and I said we were going to let you go, but real quickly, and I think Nick will appreciate this, sometimes it's not only winning the game, but how you win it.
Yes.
And I think the fact that you fell behind 1-0 last night against a quality team that had kind of, had your number a little bit over the years, that's just got to be huge, because now your girls know they can come back from that. And so, you lose that first set, I think it was 25-23, and then straight sets to win it. So,
And as a coach, those are things you draw on later in the year. Hey, remember Summerall, or remember we were down 5-0 in baseball in the 5th inning and early in the year and came back and won. So you're right about that.
Good deal. Well, congratulations on your team. We look forward to talking to you some more about it and having some of the girls back on. But good luck the rest of the season.
Stacy, would you like to ring the bell before you leave?
Let's ring it, baby.
If you've suffered an injury and are seeking justice for that injury, you don't have to leave town to find a personal injury lawyer. You need to call Joe Beard with Beard & Stewart's Attorneys at Law. Hometown lawyers helping hometown folks. Give Joe a call at 601-394-5900. And remember, go Cats, go! All right, folks, we're back, and we're glad to be back. We've got 2 of our senior football players here with us, Trey Snell and KJ Miller. And guys, obviously the elephant in the room, so to speak, is the battle for the bell this Friday night. What a great win for you guys. Talk to us about it.
It was hard fought. The first drive that we went out, I was kind of nervous, not gonna lie, because we got shut out 3 and out right there, first drive, and after we got that first touchdown, it kind of eased it off, and then from then on, it was all gas.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I had the same feeling because so far in the jamboree against Van Cleve, 3 and out on that first drive, and that's not a good way necessarily to start because you kind of like to get off to a fast start. But boy, you're right. After that, it was just total effort.
Speaking of that, KJ, you know we all get butterflies for a game. How long does it take you to get those? Is that first drive kind of get the butterflies out, or
it's really after that first play? Well, not always first play, but after the first contact.
Yeah,
the first contact, it always brings it out. But the team, we noticed we was gonna face adversity this season with people having stuff to say on the outside and people moving away from our school. But we just gotta keep pushing through it, practice every week for the goal that we're trying to accomplish.
Well, you mentioned that. I'm sorry, Trey, but there was a lot of outside noise last week and leading up to the season, and I think what a testament it is to the team that y'all were able to put that aside and were able to focus on what you had to do and come out and get a victory. And I think that speaks to guys like you as seniors who are leading the team. You're responsible for keeping the atmosphere good and keeping the mentality good. I think you guys did a great job of that this week.
Yeah, that's why one of our stay-ins this year is FTR. We get the rest. That's one of our biggest things this year.
Well, it was clear to me that y'all did that because there was none of that Friday night. There was none of anybody's eyes. Nobody was talking about it. Y'all were singularly focused on the Rebels and winning that game. And we talked about it earlier. Coach Stacy Eubanks was on. And sometimes, not only winning the game is a big deal, but how you win it. And I don't think you could have scripted that game any better for the lessons that were learned and the things that y'all can carry forward, coming from behind twice, And another thing, too, I've never been in a game been to a game that had that many untimed downs. We had 2 at the end of the first half and then 1 there at the end. It was just kind of a weird game, but boy, it was great to win it.
Yeah, and you also had to look past all the flags that we had, too.
Yeah.
We had like 2 touchdowns called back, and on the same drives we went down and scored. So
Right.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
big.
Yeah, because you haven't been able to do that. It's kind of
Yeah.
held you back in the past, and Coach King talked about that after the game with me, and it was great for him too. I could tell how excited he was for the community and for you guys, but I could also tell it felt good to him too. So,
Well, he's also got that added element of having a son play
Oh, yeah.
in it as well, so
Yeah.
that makes it even sweeter.
Kobe has a bright future. He gonna be real good. But by his senior year, he gonna have offers rolling in.
That's why I've been preaching to the line whenever he's passing, just keep everybody off Kobe because
Well, and speaking of that, we don't give the O-line a lot of credit, but he was able to sit back there in the pocket, and he was able to throw
Yeah.
those balls because of what y'all did for him.
Well, up front this week we had George County's a really stunt-heavy team, so that was like our biggest thing that we had to worry about. But luckily they didn't stunt around too much. But
A lot of the time, the O-line really don't get called out until they're doing something wrong.
right.
So,
yeah,
we try to do our hardest to keep them up and tell them they're doing a good job and, small things, just helping them out.
Yeah, and they're usually the ones who get the penalties, the holdings and the blocking the back, but they're engaged every single play. They've got more opportunity to make those mistakes than a running back or a quarterback or somebody like that.
Well, it was a game with a lot of big plays, but there were a lot of those small plays, that factored in too. And that was what was, fascinating to me is how many different people contributed. And I told Coach King after the game, I bet you could go through and you could find 1 or 2 plays where everybody that stepped on the field made an impact play. And it just seemed that way the whole game to me. So, it's great to have Kobe back there and him being able to do what he's doing, but it takes guys like you, KJ, to be able to make those plays on the other end, and guys like you, Trey, to keep, like you say, keep the pressure off of them.
Yes, sir.
And it's great to win the bell, but we also know that was last Friday
Right,
night. We got
exactly.
Hancock coming in.
yeah.
This Friday night, first home game of the season. Tell us what that's looking like.
Well, they got a couple big guys up front, but a lot of them play both ways, so they're expected to get pretty tired pretty quick. That's how it usually goes with guys like that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It didn't go that way with you this week. You played a lot on both sides of the ball this week, and made some really good defensive plays. And I don't think that you're necessarily known for that because you've kind of shown as an offensive lineman, but you came up big on defense several times.
Well, we've talked about our offense a lot, but defense
Oh, yeah.
is the one that answered the bell, no pun intended, Friday night. But, you know, after giving up those points and just getting basically ran all over with a couple starters out on the first game, they came out and they answered the call and did a tremendous job.
How many times were they inside the 15-yard line and didn't score? You know?
Right.
So, I mean, anyway, we got off track. We were talking about Hancock. Let's go back.
Yeah, but
They definitely got a good team. And, you know,
Yeah.
last year we went up there to their school and they beat us way worse than what we
35 and
wanted to
nothing. I
come
still
up there.
remember the score.
Yeah, but we got a lot to prove this year.
I
We
was
feel
like,
like
it's kind of personal.
this week is the next step to it.
I like that approach. It's the next step because, you know, you can't just, as much fun as that was last week and as much as Nick and I could sit here and talk about it all day, you do got to move on because in a couple of weeks the games are really going to start to matter.
That's right.
So tell me about some of the younger guys and the approach that they are taking now that they've had a little success. And how's that going?
Well, up front, we have a really young line
Right.
this year. I have Levi Urquhart next to me. I'm thinking of his brother right now, but Levi, he's next to me, and he's one of the guys that get up and get after it. He's not just going to back down from you because you're older than him. But
Right.
I've watched that kid do a lot of things that you wouldn't expect out of somebody that young.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing moving forward too because all
Yeah.
those guys are getting experience now.
Yeah, we're only losing 2 linemen next year. That's
Right.
that's really big.
When it to my position group, well, running back and receiver group, it's young because I'm the older guy
Right.
for both of those groups really, and it's guys with potential that come out there every day. You know, it's guys that's gonna look up to the older guys. So you know you gotta lead by example while you're out there. But other than that, the kids, they bright futures. Everybody come out there and put in work, and that's all it takes.
Well, I've noticed this with you, KJ, just in walking the halls. I see those young guys flocking to you and wanting to be around you, and you have, you know, great influence on those young guys. So you have a chance just in that leadership position to impact, even though you're leaving the football program next year, to impact it for years to come. So you're right, they look up to you.
So you got Hancock this week, and then is it Perry Central the next? No.
No, St. Martin.
St. Martin, and then Perry
Yeah,
Central.
then Perry
Right, so
Central.
you got 3 more warm-up games left
And
to
then
go.
the district
And then
starts.
the district starts, and then you got 1 more non-region toward the end of the season. So a lot of football left to play. What is your guys' role? I know what the coaches have to do, but what is your guys' role to keep everybody going in the right direction and not be looking backwards?
Well, the biggest thing is you can't let people, like, say you have a bad week or something like that when you happen to lose or something. You can't let people just get down by that fact because that's a really big problem that I've seen in the past. Like last season when we went 4 and 5, I think it was.
Right.
The reason why is because a lot of people, like, they would just think about the old losses. They'd never really look forward. So this year we have that mentality that you just got to look to the next game and don't worry about the past. And that's like Van Cleve, we lost pretty bad Van Cleve, and then George County we ended up doing pretty good in that.
Yeah.
That's because nobody was worried about Van Cleve anymore. It's just on to the next week.
Yeah.
To build on what Trey saying, Coach King, he tell us, he be like, you can't be outcome based when you're trying to think about how the season gonna go. You gotta look week by week, practice by practice, play by play. Just improve and do what you can in those plays. Work to your full capability. The outcome is gonna be determined on how you work for it.
That's right. Got, as they, you hear this expression all the time, but trust the process.
That's right.
You got to trust the process. And I think this coaching staff and you guys and the time that I've spent around y'all, I see that. You know, I do, and I appreciate it. And it's kind of interesting to me. People, I tell folks all the time, and I've told Mike this, everything's better when the football team wins. You know, it's just the way it is. When the football team's winning, so you guys, I don't want to put any extra pressure on y'all. But it does matter. In a community such as ours, people take pride in what y'all are doing. And when you do it in the way that you guys do it, it elevates that. So congratulations and thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming on. Good luck the rest of the year.
Anything y'all want to say?
No, sir.
Go Wildcats, make
Yeah.
sure you come out and support for the rest of
Exactly.
the season.
Come out Friday night, first home game. That's going to be a wild environment and a lot of excitement built now because of last week. And hopefully the stands will be filled and we'll take it on to the Hawks of Hancock. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Stay with us. The mission of Greene County Farm Bureau is to provide you with unmatched customer service and attention.
If you're looking for home, auto, or life insurance, you should definitely give Jared Lott or Tyler Bray a call to learn more about the full line of insurance and financial services they have available. It's easy to find out if you're getting the type of coverage you need at the best possible rates. Just drop by and see Jared or Tyler at 812 Main Street in Leakesville or give them a call at 601-394-2801.
All right, welcome back. We're here to wrap things up today. As promised, I had a great interview with Coach Stacy Eubanks, and then a very good interview with two very level-headed senior Wildcat football players.
Man, every time we have a group of seniors on here, whether it's the volleyball players or those guys, I just get blown away at how cool under pressure and how thoughtful in their the way they talk these kids are these days, because I'm blown away by
well,
those guys.
You can see the influence that a coach has on kids when you listen to them
Oh,
talk,
yeah.
and it's it's good as a coach. I'm not a football coach, but to hear these players basically reiterating what their coaches told them, it lets you as a coach know that you're actually getting through to them.
It lets you know they're listening, and I think that's the thing with kids, and I've made so many mistakes as a all important junior high baseball coach
That's
back
right,
in the day, and as a parent, when you just things, missteps that you can have, but kids pay attention. They want to know. They want that information from you. They want that leadership. And I think we're blessed with good coaches at our school, in baseball and volleyball and basketball and football, and the kids are responding. And it's just a lot of fun.
Well, and those guys, we think about this football team being young, but I think there's 6 seniors on the team. So those guys have an extra tough task of leadership. There's a big difference in a 9th grader and a 12th grader, and it takes an army to sometimes steer those freshmen and sophomores in the right direction, and they're having to do it with basically 6. So kudos to them on that.
Well, and there's unselfishness too on their part to just watch them play and to hear them talk. They just want to be successful. They want to win. And if you watch KJ, if Keenan scores a touchdown, KJ is the first one there.
Right.
There's not that pouting and all of that, and his day's coming, because as well as I do what kind of athlete he is.
Right.
He's going to have one of those games coming up where there's 200 yards and 3 touchdowns to his credit. And it's kind of good from his perspective to know too that all these other guys are doing things, because eventually that will open up more opportunities, and they're not just focused on him.
And they're all great kids, and that's what makes it so easy for them to be unselfish, is they are just tremendous kids that genuinely want to be successful and genuinely want to see their brothers be successful as well. So
yeah, and it's once again, like I say, it's a blessing for me to have the exposure to them that I have, and the access to them that I have, and the way you guys treat me out here at the school, kind of letting me in the inner circle sometimes. And
don't cry on us,
I know, man, it's emotional, but it's special. And I hear y'all talk. Scott likes to talk about it all the time, about our kids and how special this place is. But it is small schools like ours and communities like ours. It makes a difference.
And it's easy to take that for granted, how good of a school it is and how good of a community it is. But we also, when we take that for granted, we have to stick together as a community.
Right.
I mean, we talk about adversity all the time, and we talk about sports and the adversity that we go through in sports. And as a community and as a family, Greene County family, we have to stick together in those times of adversity, and we have to help each other fight off the noise that comes from the outside.
Right. And that's just one of those things. I mean, sometimes you want to insulate the kids, but you can't.
Right.
You can't. And so you gotta talk to them in a way that they can hopefully process it and deal with it. And what did he say? Forget the rest.
Forget the rest.
Forget the
FTR,
rest. So
yeah.
that's right. So cool stuff.
Yep.
Once again, a lot of great things going on out here at the high school. Nick and I could sit and ramble all day about it. We got some big games coming up in volleyball, and a big game Friday night, first home game here at home with 6A Hancock coming in. So a lot of ways to get out and enjoy what's going on at the high school. Please get involved. Come on out and buy a hamburger.
And we don't talk about it enough, but because this is really a high school program. But our junior highs, they're playing volleyball right now, and they're playing football. So there's always somewhere that you can go and support these kids and watching a football or volleyball game or any sporting event.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Dave the other day at Pearl River, and I had forgotten, and I'm sad about this. I owe you an apology, Josh, but he was telling me about how well Josh Bolton is playing down
That's
there
right.
for the Wildcats. So, we send these kids off and they represent our community extremely well, but they get that foundation right here in this community, at this school, at their church, at home, at the grocery store, when somebody will stop and encourage them. And that's what we need to do. Is like I say, we need to be lifting these kids up, not beating them down, because at the end of the day, they are kids.
That's right.
And those negative comments do pile up.
Yeah, they do.
So we need to stop that.
Yeah, and as a man, we can take it. We got thick skin. It affects us, of course, but we can take it. But kids are, they're vulnerable at that age, and they can't take it, and they don't know how to filter, what's just joking around and what's serious, and it's not a good look at all. So.
No, it's not. But once again, very proud of what's going on out here, particularly with volleyball and football teams right now, because that's the two active sports.
Right.
But both of those teams are poised for some big things.
I got one more thing, and then I'll shut up. Steak dinner is September 26th, I believe. It's the Perry Central game. So if you want to buy steak dinner from the baseball program, see any of the baseball players or come by the school, we'd love to sell you a steak dinner, which helps support our baseball program.
And it's a lot of fun.
It is.
That steak dinner's been going on for years now, and I can remember the first one. And it's been a lot of fun. People come out, they enjoy the time together. It's almost like a dinner on the grounds kind of thing.
Right, yeah,
People come
that's
together
right.
and they fellowship. So it's a big deal. So I'll be buying a few steaks from you, Nick, and coming out and enjoying them. And I'll be sure to complain about the salad dressing.
How many are you going to buy, Russell? I want this on record.
Well, no, I'm not going to say, Nick.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All
Appreciate
right,
you
folks,
joining us.
appreciate y'all joining us. Be back with us next week.